Art of Living just completed 43 years. We went gotten into 44 years. November 13th, yesterday was our foundation day. I just want to tell you briefly how we started. I was teaching what I was from very long, my teenage times, sharing with people whatever I knew. Anyone who comes will make them laugh and make them be a little happy, peaceful. Then two people came to me. Two extreme mindset people. One is, you all know, Justice V.R. Krishna here. He was a proclaimed atheist, non-believer. And then Justice Bhagwati, who was a total believer. He would believe in all miracles and everything. They both came to me and said, Gurudev, what you have to offer needs a frame, and we are here to provide that framework. I said, I don't want any organization and all. I'm just teaching whatever I am. I said, no. So they became the first trustees of Art of Living. Justice Krishna and Justice P.N. Bhagwati. And then the architect of Bengaluru, you know who is that? Lakshman Rao. He was the trustee in that. And of course, my father was also there. So these people together formed this organization. And when I would talk 40 years back about happiness, people would say, what is he talking about? Because happiness was never an issue. Only success was the focus. It's not until late 2000 that happiness was also taken as an index. I'm happy now you are taking this up and making it a mainstream narrative. But you have heard a lot about happiness from the morning, I think. I don't want to keep talking about it and make you unhappy for long. I just want 1 minute of all of your participation. Are you ready? Will you all? Yes. Everyone should participate. Okay. What you need to do, turn to the person next to you and talk gibberish. Can you do it now? You have nobody next to you. You can turn and talk to somebody. You know what is gibberish? Something. Blabber something. Come on. There should be no meaningful conversation. Continue. It's only 15 seconds over. Okay, 15 seconds more. Not yet 1 minute. Louder. Let me hear louder. Okay. Some of you were so shy to participate in this. We are so stuck in our head. My dear, happiness is not here. You have to descend down from there. Logic is not happiness. You transcend logic. As a baby, we were bundle of happiness. But as we grew up and we got embroiled in this logic, and then we started shrinking. And our whole world is within this periphery of what we already know. Don't become so serious. Are you all here? You know why classrooms were 40 minutes before? 40 to 50 minutes? How many of you don't know? Can you raise your hand? Classrooms are 40, 50 minutes, right? And then the bell rings. You know why it was designed that way? When was it designed? I think half a century back, even more. You know why? Those days, attention span of a person was 40 minutes. Today, you know how much it is? 30 seconds. That's it. You know how fast people browse on their phone? 30 seconds. They don't want to stay any longer. So attention deficiency has hit the roof, hit the sky. And that's where we need to bring back attention. Now, it's an unwritten law we follow United States of America, I tell you. Anything in any topic, whether science or technology or education, we blindly follow America. We may not be ready to accept the fact, but more or less that is where we stand. Whatever Harvard says, Yale says, Stanford says, we go by that. We take that as the gospel truth. That's what has been happening so far. Even this word, mindfulness, which we are using, was coined. You know why? How many of you don't know why? Can you raise your hand? Because people were averse to the word meditation. You were averse to word meditation because it has been used. So let us coin a new word and say mindfulness. I say mindfulness is just the driveway, meditation is the house. I want to tell you one incident that happened. You know, when I was in Michigan, it was 25 years ago maybe, the school teachers had a conference and I was to address them. I addressed them then. That time, you know, what they mentioned, the district schools had 265 violent incidents per year. When children hitting each other or showing knife, all these things. You know how many mass shootings happen in US? 2.9 mass shootings per day. Look at the amount of violence there. So there we introduced our breathing technique, meditation. It drastically came down in just 2 months' time to about 30. From 265 to about 30, 35, something in that range. So then we started the program, Sky for Schools. We started training school teachers. You must have heard in 2022, the mayor of New York officially declared that 5 minutes of breathing is essential. After 15 years of hard work of some of our Art of Living teachers, finally the New York City accepted that in the school district, everybody should do breathe for 5 minutes. Because that calms down the mind of the kids. You don't need to infuse happiness. Happiness is our very nature that is being covered, shrouded by so many other things, stress and tension and all that stuff. Are you all here? Yes. You know what psychologists say? If a speaker is speaking for 10 minutes, the listener go for a cappuccino break 3 times. And that's what happened. The mind goes away. We need tools and techniques. We don't need discourses. We need something practical for kids to hold on to. Recently, when I was in America, again, I visited some of the schools. You know what they had in the schools? Instead of chairs, the big balls, the balls that you use for exercise. That was there as a seat for children. I said, how can they listen to the teacher when you're sitting on this? They said, children are so restless, so when they keep bouncing on the ball like that, we can hold them in the class. They're bouncing and the mind is not there at all. We need to pay attention to the mental health. It's thanks to America, it just broke the chain of prejudice against mental health, and it said, yes, mental health is a big issue. Now the world is saying, yes, it's a big issue. Otherwise, we would not ready to accept that mental health is an issue worldwide. And when Yale University took up and did studies on pranayama, meditation, everybody said, oh, gaga over it now. Meditation. We are still in that mindset. What I want to tell you is, the whole world is ours, everybody. There is no prejudice against anybody. But what is that we lack? Where is that we go wrong? Is we are not attending to the basic nature of human. I'm happy that you have a special, just now Ravi Nair was telling me that he has a specially designed quality assessment for Indian schools and colleges, Indian children. That's necessary. Each continent, each culture has certain specifics, certain innate qualities, and you need to see through that also. That is very important. And happiness, as I said, is not something that you talk a lot, but which you spread through your vibration. You are angry, you are upset inside you, and you are talking about love, it doesn't make any impact. If school teachers are depressed, how are they going to bring happiness to children? 40% of school teachers in Germany are depressed. And nobody has done any survey in India. It could be more or less. Once here in Karnataka, I was invited to speak at the school principals meeting. There were several thousand principals. The government of Karnataka had organized near Tumkur. I walked into that room. You know what I saw? Not one smiling face, all drooping face. So sad. All school teachers. I just scratched my head. What am I going to do? I'm really out of the place here. But then I told, I just asked the teacher few questions, and then I told them, look, I know why you became school teacher. It's not by choice, but by compulsion. You didn't get a job, you didn't become an engineer because you couldn't get a seat in engineering college. You couldn't become a doctor. So, what you are left, you couldn't get to CA. The only thing you are left with is TCH and B.Ed, and so you landed up school teacher, isn't it? Raise your hand. Most of them raised. Others also nodded. They were shy to raise their hand. But I could feel. I told them, look, why you don't respect your profession? Just look at the profession of a doctor. What is he doing? All his life he is spending time with the sick patient. So I demolished their myth of other profession being better than theirs. And I said, look at the engineers. They are spending their whole time with the machines. They become like machine. And all the psychiatrists, when they are working with the patient, 60% of them end up patients. They end up being patients. So, You spend your time with lively young minds. These children are going to become leaders of the society. They're going to excel. And you should take pride being a teacher. And then you get 2 months vacation. Nobody gets like that. And you get the same salary. Of course, nowadays, school teachers are no less than any other profession. So, you need to just tweak them a little bit, kindle those awareness in people. If teachers are happy, they can keep the classes happy. If teachers are depressed, I don't have to say what they transferred to the kids from their side. And this is where we need to pay attention. That's why we, in this country, put so much emphasis on the teachers. Acharya Devo Bhava. Mother, father, and guru. They come in line to be respected and to be taken as part of one's life. If there is that sense of belongingness with the teacher, no child can feel upset. No child, no student in the university will hang themselves up. Here, just across, there in Indian Institute of Science, when 6 students, brilliant students, it's very difficult to get entrance into these institutions. Having gotten a seat there, 6 students, when they hanged themselves, you know what did the institute decided to do? Have you heard? They wanted to remove all the ceiling fan from the room. I thought this is ridiculous. Those students are intelligent enough to find a rope and there are trees. Removing the ceiling fan from the rooms is not going to save someone's life. You have to give them the education, how to handle the mind, how to, handle one's emotions, how to feel connected. You can be in a home, a very happy, healthy household. Still, if you close down, if you are still sitting up there and just judging everybody, always stuck in the past events and incidences, you will shrink. And when you shrink, you don't feel like living. The ancient sages said, prasara satu vigneya. Inside you, there is something that is expanding. That should be known before you know other things. And when you are happy, what is the symptom you get? What is the feeling associated with happiness? Oh, something is expanding. When someone insults you, what's the feeling you get? Crushed. They say, they crushed my enthusiasm. You say, no? That's said in the language itself, English language. By the way, English language is more close to Sanskrit than Hindi. Another shocking thing for you. 70% of English language is all Sanskrit. Tell me what is close to Duhita, beti or daughter? Duhita is Sanskrit word. Duhita. Daughter is close or beti? Son, suta ya beta? Suta. Suta, what is close to son? Suta, son. Like that, if you go there in the depth, 70%, I tell you. And Japanese language, 82% of, 82 to 85% is Tamil. No, why I'm saying is, when people start to see one's life from a broader perspective, a sense of connectivity comes. We feel connected with everybody. And that connectivity keeps us away from loneliness. If 45% of US population is feeling lonely, there is something seriously wrong. And that is because we are uprooted from the values, from the education of mind, Psychology should be basics like mathematics. In chemistry, we learn in schools and colleges. And psychology is understanding the mind. It's not Freudian psychology. I want to say psychology is knowing mind, man, buddhi, chit, ahankar. Our consciousness functions in 4 different ways. Mind, the thing that perceives, mana. Buddhi, the intellect which judges, which absorb, which judges and decides, and identity, ego, and memory, chitta. So, learning a lot about our own self is possible not just through words, through books, but through vibrations. And the vibration need to be positive, happy vibration. Thank you.